Hello. I've walked along an old wagon way, the Pittington wagon way from Durham, to High Pittington, or rather Hallgarth, where I am right now. And I thought I'd do some mapping of this area, a bit like I did Brig in Cornwall 2 years ago. Focus on a specific area, see how long it takes. So, Pittington comprises Low Pittington, which is just a half-mile stretch of houses. High Pittington, about half a mile away, and that's more built up. It's about half a mile by half a mile. And Hallgarth, which is a village on the edge of High Pittington, or rather a hamlet. I guess it's a village in total. Population, about 2,500. According to the 2011 census. So we'll see how long it takes me. Interesting facts about Pittington, I don't really know any. There's St. Lawrence Church just down the road here, is a 12th century church, so it's very nice inside. I won't be going in today, I expect it's not open. But yeah, it had a marble font borrowed from Durham Cathedral, where they baptised babies in. For 90 years it had that, until its original stone font was found being used as a water trough or a feeding trough for animals. So they got that back and then gave the marble font back to Durham Cathedral. So there's an interesting fact for you. So yeah, about 2,500 is the population. My tripod's falling off the snow here. Let's see how long it takes me to survey it, to walk around and get all the house numbers. I think the roads are already on, but the house numbers I'll get. And if you're brave, if you like a challenge, then you can put a comment with your guess of how long you think it'll take me to walk around all of Pittington, High and Low Pittington, and map the house numbers and any paths or tracks that are missing. Right. I'll stop disturbing these horses and I'll get on with that mapping. So after doing just a few houses that needed to be done in Hallgarth, I went to Prior's Grange. That's mainly because there was a note there. It was nearby, but also there was a note there. I'll show you a screenshot of OSM and that note was by a user called Confused Buffalo that does a lot of mapping around the northeast, I think. So it said check the numbers here. So I did. I also mapped to the other numbers in Prior's Grange. I wonder if Confused Buffalo was just visiting someone that lived here and did the numbers they could spot between doing other things. And they all seem to be correct, so that's good. Saved me a bit of time, and I could keep my hands in my pockets longer and to keep them warm. But yeah, that was good mapping. So that's Prior's Grange done and all the awkward little nooks. I'll move on now. There's a footpath that I think's mapped, but maybe I might find some where it goes if it joins onto other connections. And I'll carry on mapping and figuring out which roads I do next without doubling back on myself too much. The wind howled much louder than my voice in this, but I was explaining that I've surveyed about a third of High Pittington at this point. You can see it clearly in the screenshot. There's not a lot to do in Low Pittington off the screen, it's mainly done. But I came into the playground because it isn't on the map at all, and that surprised me, while also being my fault. Because I've got friends that live right next to this playground. I've spent lots of time with them and their kids on the climbing frame that you can see, and then going back into their house for a nice warm cup of tea. I would have really loved to pop into their house for that cup of tea, but couldn't for typical reasons right now. So I wanted to try and continue doing some more surveying in High Pittington and Low Pittington, because it's a 45-minute walk back home, but it might be that I just have to come back another time, because I was getting quite worried with the cold in the snow and wind, that I might not be okay, so I didn't know how long I could survive in that coldness. Now the question becomes, will I complete the surveying in one go, or will I have to come back? Put your answer in the comments, your comments in the answer. Yeah, here goes. It's future Greg doing a voiceover again, because past Greg didn't realise how loud the wind was. Amazingly, I'd mapped all of High Pittington, and at this point I'd treated myself by walking up a hill. That doesn't sound like a treat when I've been walking for quite some time to then walk up a hill. But this was Pittington Hill I was now standing on, a site of scientific interest, and I wasn't too sure if that fact was mapped, but it is. It's always a treat to go up there for the amazing views, which I tried to tell you about. Behind me you can see High Pittington with Prior's Grange, Hallgarth roughly at the wooded area, the main road through Pittington as I turn, and Low Pittington's just over my left shoulder there. But I've got to walk from this point through Low Pittington to get home, and I could see some new houses being built. In the distance I could see Durham Cathedral peeping up. Halfway in that direction was my house I was waiting to get to. Then looking towards the north you can see a church spire which is West Rainton. In the distance you can see it much better in person than on the camera I had, but you can see some high rises of Gateshead, and on the hills behind that there's more high rises. That's Newcastle. And on a clearer day you can even see hills of Northumberland, which while I was there on that day I could just see a bit of. There's normally Penshaw Monument, but that was just around the corner from the viewpoint I was standing at. And that's all quite an amazing view, just 30 minutes from my house that I can walk to. I do enjoy it, the top of that hill, just normally on a warmer day. Quite different to view it all in the snow. So did you guess how long it would take me to do all the surveying? Well, it took me about 2 hours to survey all of High Pittington, and that's before I walked up the hill, which only takes 5 minutes. And I don't want to leave you with the before and after pictures of the map, because it's going to take me a while to use all the notes and photos to edit the map. I plan to film that too, my editing at the computer, which will be in much less wind, and I'll upload that as another video. So instead I'll show you a panorama shot of that view from where I was standing on Pittington Hill. Well, hope you enjoyed that view, and just to add on to it, I walked through Low Pittington and my hands were just warm enough to type in the house names or take photos of the signs. So I got that done. It took me sort of 20 minutes I think, and it probably would have taken me about 5-10 minutes to walk from High Pittington to Low Pittington. So if that's 2 hours 20, 30, 40, I think probably 2 hours 45 minutes if I hadn't gone up Pittington Hill. Yeah, if you commented 2 hours 45 minutes, let's say you win. And to just finish off, I found a bench. It's not the most sturdiest bench, but yeah, we started the video in Hallgarth with a horse and a couple of Shetland ponies. So we'll finish with a couple of Shetland ponies at Pittington Cross. I'm going to walk home now with my hands in my pockets and some hand warmers and get a hot chocolate, and then I can edit the video. So thanks for watching. Bye.